Welcome to Real Talk with Hagir, where real stories rise and silence doesn't stand a chance. Today we are back with our favorite guest. Who's going to be a long-term guest? Tom, welcome back.
Thank you, Hagir.
Can you tell everyone who you are? Introduce yourself.
I'm Tom Dardick. Been in Central Pennsylvania for a long time now, and have a new company. I talked a little bit about that before, but I try to help people really thrive, essentially. And now we're focusing on helping people with their organizations.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, speaking about that, let's talk about your news. You said you're making some changes. Share what you want to share.
Okay. Yeah, we've evolved, let's say that. And it's interesting. When I say we, I have a couple of official partners. So there's 3 of us in our partnership, and we have a couple of employees, so small company. But we've been moving pretty fast in terms of our evolution as a company. Before, when I was here, I was talking about the eye of power, which is a model that I've developed to help people see their power, see their agency. What are the things that help us increase it, and what are the things that maybe we do that help kind of keeps us losing it? And we moved a little bit away from that. Not that it's wrong, bad, that we never do it. It's that we've moved towards something that's a little bit before you think in terms of what you personally are doing. And we're talking about pressure. So pressure is an interesting thing. Pressure is
I know
not
the
optional.
pressure cooker that give you real good, tasty food. So what are we talking about here?
Well, if you think about a pressure cooker, that's a really good picture, because what makes a pressure cooker that's not like if you have a regular pot, you've got a lid on it that's bolted down, right? And so it constrains whatever's in there, and that's what pressure is, right? It's some sort of constraint. So pressure, it turns out, has these properties, and it behaves in predictable ways. So what we've been able to do is map that out organizationally. And so it gives us a little bit of greater insight and predictive power than we would otherwise have. So I'm pretty excited about this. So what we're talking about is anything that's human cooperative system. So that would be like a family, a neighborhood, a government, a company, an agency, an association, anything where we're trying to come together to have some sort of cause happen. Whenever we do that, what we noticed is that the dynamics that happen on the personal level, that's what the eye power talked about, have a mirror at the organizational level, and that's what we noticed. So we started mapping out that element of it. So to make it simple, if you think about
I was
pressure,
about to say that's not plain English.
well,
still.
that's what we're talking about. So I wanted to give you the context there. But really, if you think about it, there's a couple ways to picture it. So one way would be like if you're driving a car and you're driving around your neighborhood and you don't really notice any problems. It's fine. But then you get up on the highway and you're going 70 miles an hour and it's shaking and won't go in a straight line and so forth. What's the difference? It's the same car.
Yeah.
The speed and the nature of the road revealed things that were actually not right with the car.
Okay.
So we do these things and we think everything's fine, and then under pressure, things are revealed that are true that we didn't notice before. So that would be a way to picture what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, see?
Does that help?
I got it, yes. But so that's what happened to any normal human being under pressure, whether that being, having a job that is stressful or not having a job, financial issues. So this is the pressure. How are we going to elevate that? We can't just take the pot like in the cooker, right? That's not the same thing, but...
Well, what we're talking about is structural pressure. So now we're making the assumption that we're not talking about an individual.
Yeah.
We're talking about an organization of some kind.
Yeah.
So it could be your family, or it could be all the other examples I shared already. But our focus right now is on organizations.
So how is the pressure related to family? Like, I know when I am under pressure, I can assess that and see, okay, I am getting like stressed or anxious or angry faster. There is so much in my mind, tired, this. Those are simple signs you know you are under pressure. When you talk about family and company, just let's stick with family.
Okay.
When you talk about family, how as a family you can see, notice, and say, okay, this is a problem or this is a pressure that I need to release.
Well, I haven't applied the model to specifically family in any big way, so this is just right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking in terms of, so there's, I don't want to get too much into the weeds, but there's 6 basic types of pressure functions. I'm not going to go to all of them, but let's just take one.
Okay.
Time.
Okay.
Everybody can relate with that, right?
Yeah.
Because most people, especially if you have a family or a job or both, you have more things on your to-do list than you can get done during that day.
In 24 hours.
Everybody relate to that?
Oh,
right?
sir, yes, sir.
There's 1,440 minutes and that's it, right? We don't have more than that.
Is that how many minutes we have in a day?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. So there's nothing you can do to alleviate that pressure. That's just the world. That's the life we have. And so pressure isn't good or bad. It's there. It's always going to be there. And it's really a matter of how, the word we use is metabolize a bit. You could also say deal with it.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it? So you started going there a little bit where you feel like frazzled, there's too much to do, not enough time to do it in, lots of different signals or things that are wanting your attention. That's another type of pressure, complexity pressure. What you're specifically going to do about it is another type of pressure. So there's all these different types of pressures. And it turns out that all these different pressures behave in certain predictable ways outside of the person. So those predictable ways are very useful if you're going to make good decisions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is a good way to look at things, and I'm hoping that anyone who's going under those kind of pressure, you don't wait until that pot explodes or you feel like you can't take it anymore. So try to use that, if you guys know what I'm talking about, that old pressure cooker, you can
little release
turn
valve.
the release valve and get some of that pressure out. And that's what you were trying to accomplish with companies and things. So
exactly.
I hope things go well, and we are going to keep having you back so we can follow the progress with this.
Thank you.
But how do you come up with, I really want to be in your head.
Okay.
I know a minute ago I said, I want to have your hair.
That's what I like coming back here for, is I get all these compliments. I appreciate it.
You look good to begin with, but yeah, I want to have your hair because I always have an issue doing my hair. But I want to get it like your head. You are someone who I truly, grow to like very much, because you have anything that happens in your life, you try to not just make sense of it, but try to find a solution. And there is a huge difference between people who go on their daily life and not noticing issues and trying to be part of the solution. So talk to us about that, be part of the solution, whether that work, your personal life, community, or anything.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the work I'd been doing in the past 5 years has really been the Eye of Power, which is about our agency. And that's what I hear you say, Hagir, there is talking about agency, what you can do. So one thing that we tend to do is we tend to worry a lot. And we tend to worry too much about things that we cannot control. And that is, everybody's hands goes up.
Yes.
Because that's a natural thing that we all do.
Yeah.
But it's a waste of energy. So if you want to capture more of that, more of your time, more of your energy, more of your ability to get things done, that's a really good place to start. Now, you talked about me personally. I'm pretty good. I've worked on that over years. I don't really worry too much about the things that I can't control. I've worked on that for many, many years.
Anyone can relate? Not me.
So that frees up bandwidth, and that's maybe what you're pointing to, is I'm able to focus on the things that I can. So I can't control who watches us, what they do, and anything like that. All I can do is share openly, honestly, what I'm trying to get done. And then people who respond and who feel like there's something there, some sort of vibrational compatibility there, hopefully we get a chance to talk. And so that's how I move forward in terms of my relationship sides of things. I'm just trying to be honest and open and try to, I mean, this is real talk.
Yes,
right?
It is real
so
talk.
that's why we get along, because we're interested in the real. And unfortunately, we have all these ways that we protect ourselves that hurt the ability to get real. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to look at it. We don't want to look in the mirror. We don't want to make that change. We don't want to admit that we got ourselves into this jam and this mess, and then we got to do something about it, right? So we're protect, and that protection takes tons and tons of energy. And so now that 1,440 minutes feels like 20 minutes. It feels like I can't do anything. And some people you probably can relate to this, at least at some point in your life, where you feel like you just can't do anything.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that I've been passionate about that for a long time, and how I've gotten to the point I am now has just been realization. So I started to say earlier where I noticed these things that were true at the individual level are true on the cooperative
mirror
level. And that is, so that sort of opened up this right? Like, oh, okay. And so now we're able to sort of see, okay, this has a corresponding thing here. This has a corresponding there. And then when we started learning about pressure and how it behaves, now it's like, oh, if this is building here, this is likely to fail in this way and then cause these ripple effects down the road. So if I can see this ripple effect's just starting, I can sort of say, we better do something here, otherwise this is going to happen. Likely. I can't say for sure. But likely. It's all like that.
Science.
So basically, And basically it's a scientific method towards human engineering, essentially, is what we're doing. But
So I'm still stuck at the ability to free up bandwidth by, you ground yourself in all of that good ideas and, how can you apply that into the general life? Like, we are living in a world that is like insane right now,
it is insane with how fast things are changing.
And how can you be able to not stress, to be able to like think logically when everything is literally burning?
Well, first of all, I don't see everything as burning. I see some problems here and there. What
world are you in, Mr. Tom?
Well, I can talk about any topic you want to, I promise. But no, so I guess my answer to that really, Hagir, would be framing. So you're framing it like the world's burning, there's lots of problems, and that's true. But it's not completely true. It's partially true. It's true for some people in some circumstances. Other people are thriving and having the time of their life. And in terms of where we are as a society, where would you want to go in time, let's say, that would be better?
There's nowhere.
So
don't want to get back to slavery.
You don't.
Don't want to get back to civil war.
Exactly.
World War I or II.
Exactly.
And we're heading towards World III. Sorry to break it to you guys. But
so the point being,
if we don't do something.
The point being is that it's framing. It's contextual. So yes, you can focus on World War III and all the problems we have and the challenges with change. I'm choosing to focus on the possibilities of emergent things that are happening now. The reason that I'm able to do what I'm doing now, I couldn't do it a year ago. I have AI that helps me. What I've done in the past 2 months would have taken me years. Years. It would have taken me years. Because I can think way faster with AI helping me than I could without it. And
in technology part, I agree with you.
But it's not just technology.
You can't be isolated. Like, you can interrupt me anytime. This is not like
No, but it's not just technology.
You can't isolate. You and I are continuing to do our work, and I hope everyone out there, they're continuing to do their work and their part. But you cannot look at your house and say, my house is not burning, and I'm doing okay, and other people are doing okay, while you seeing other people are drowning, seeing people who can't eat or going through. And I'm not trying to push you towards any direction. I'm just trying to get understanding of, not me, like I'm gonna stress, and not because I want to stress. There is levels. We have the red, yellow, and green. I do that method with some things, but as a human, there is no way that I am going to sit today and say, I'm gonna try to, put things into different perspective.
Yeah.
There is things that out of my hand, I can say, I'm not gonna focus on that because I can't do anything about it now. I'm gonna focus on what I can do. But there is things that are out of my hand, but I'm gonna have to focus on them just because I'm human, and I never want to change that. I'm gonna care about injustice happening to people anywhere in here or any other country or the world.
Well, there's a lot that you just put out there,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we're talking about when you start talking about injustice and you talk about suffering on a large scale and things like that. That's the human story, unfortunately. And what I'm interested in is evolving beyond that, building things that help us get so that that is minimized and that people feeling more fulfilled is maximized. So
How?
Well, it starts with the person in the chair looking in the mirror. It's
Okay.
always it's your happiness and your power, your agency is up to you. It's always the case. There's no one can give it to you. It's you either take it or you leave it.
Yes and no.
Okay, so what's the no? What's the no? Where's that wrong?
I can sit and look in the mirror right now, and I'm going to see what Hagir can do for Hagir and for the people that I can touch personally. But in that mirror, if I'm not seeing other people who I can't help, and maybe I might be able to help, then I'm just only looking into my own soul. Like, that to me, and I know you don't mean it this way, but to me, this is pushing us as human to focus only on our happiness and well-being.
Well,
or maybe I'm wrong.
So in the higher power, the fourth quadrant is the purpose quadrant. And the purpose quadrant, you only feel a sense of purpose when you're serving other people. There's no way to serve just yourself and feel purposeful.
Yeah.
So when I say look in the mirror and take stock, I'm not saying just worry about yourself. So it sounded like you were kind of maybe had that context.
I know you. That's
what
not
I'm saying is
what I'm saying. Came out with like that.
Here's what I really mean. What I really mean is when you look in the mirror, you take stock of who you really are and what your unique set of gifts are. Now, this is what I believe. I haven't seen any evidence to change my mind on this, but I believe that every single person has a unique set of gifts that they and only they have.
Yeah.
No one else has walked through your shoes. Only you.
Yeah.
No one else has your perspective, only you. Nobody else has you might not be the fastest, the best looking, the most charming, whatever way we want to measure and compare ourselves. There's always going to be somebody probably better.
Yes.
Right? Because 9 billion or 8 billion people are a lot of people. But you'll have a signature, a combination that's you and only you. And what I say is that look in the mirror is really ultimately boils down to understanding what your unique signature is and figure out ways to cultivate that and put it to the best and highest use to serve other people, to add value to other people. That's what I mean.
That's the key word, yeah. That's the key word, because I'm sitting here and I'm sorry, like, I am a positive person, but it's hard to be positive now. I'm thinking of the people who are looking in the mirror. Could be the people who are having no issue harming others, having no problem on committing crimes and looking at themselves and like, I'm going to do more of that. No, sir. No.
Well,
this is where you're looking in the mirror need to stop.
Do you think those people that fall in that, because that's a small percentage of people. Percentage.
Yeah.
Large number. Small percentage, and those people, there's something that's whether it's psychopathy or sociopathy.
Yeah.
it's something that's sort of wrong. Now,
Yeah.
none of us are perfect. We all have something wrong with us.
Yes.
But that's kind of really broken.
Yeah.
And somebody like that would never be in a position where they're going to look in the mirror and think the way that we're talking. That's not.
Now you get me. Now
we're not talking to people like that.
Okay, but those people live among us.
I know,
and
but
they're producing.
But what we want to do
in
is
larger numbers, giving birth, and so on to people just like that. I'm not trying to dim this.
No, but this has been a studied thing, and so it's about 3%. It's been about 3%. It's probably going to be about 3%. That's basically how it is with humankind. So we want to create the conditions that minimize it, or at least minimize the effects of it. But I don't think we're going to really be able to get rid of it.
No, we're not. How can we minimize? So let's give the positive.
Well, what I'm trying to do.
Where I am sitting right there is a lot of clouds. So we're going to step into the sun. Tell us how we can minimize the effect of the people who are looking in the mirror and thinking of bad things.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd say maximize your personal agency. Okay. That's what I was talking about. That's what the eye of power was about. That's what I think is my number one answer to that. If you've got somebody who is taking stock of their authentic self and serving other people, and more people do that to a greater degree, to a place where they feel fulfilled and feel like they matter and they feel seen and appreciated, their world gets a lot better. And so it starts there. Starts small. It's not that small. I say small, I just mean small scale, but I don't think of it as small, because I think your experience and the people right around you, that's basically the world that you're living. I can't wave a magic wand and change the conditions in North Korea.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do about that.
Or the United States.
Down the street.
Why are we going to North Korea? What did they do now?
I can't change. 2 buildings over.
Let's take care of our house first.
2 buildings over, there's people in pain.
Yeah.
There's probably not much I can do about that.
Yeah.
But people who come into the circle, who come across the radar screen, and so for me, I'm trying to kind of build our company, try to help more people that way. But this goes to what you can and can't do. Okay. Right? I could spend my time worrying about the people right in the building next door, and then figure out, okay, I'm going to knock on the door and I'm going to say what? What am I going to do? Or I could write a check.
How can I help you?
Yeah. Well,
that's a simple thing.
That's one thing. But that's not an easy thing either. Yeah. It's a complicated thing, because they'd have to know how to answer that. Yeah. Most people don't. Yeah. They don't know how to. They don't have an answer for that. If they did, they might be in a different circumstance.
Yeah. Well, I have a long list of answers to that if you ask me the question. And I hope everyone out there will have an idea of how somebody else can help them. Whether they extended a hand or you go and ask, because I know it's a hard thing. And the funny thing is, the last year or so, that's when I learned to actually reach out to people and say, I need help with this. And I just turned 49. So when I say the last 2 years.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So 47 years of my life, if we count, 1 day old, not asking for help. But I think I agree with you, this is a big issue that a lot of people don't know how to ask for help, or they have a long list and they don't know where to start.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, of course. And that goes back to us talking about pressure. But for you to be able to go and knock on the door and say, how can I help you? You have to have bandwidth. You have to have agency. You have to have the ability to have something left over
pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. So that's why I start.
Wow, I've been pouring from an empty cup for a while.
Well, it's funny. The cup's cup's not as empty as you think. Yeah. So that's one thing. Yeah. But no, my overall point there is starting with your own agency and your own ability to handle pressure. I think that's the most return on investment that you're going to get. Let's just say, if we're trying to be economic about it, because if you just continue, that's why the classic thing is, put the oxygen mask on
Yes.
yourself. If you're sitting
Yes.
there holding your breath, helping somebody, you're going to help them for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then you're going to be
Yeah.
useless. Now
Yeah.
someone's got to come help you.
Yeah, it took a funny thing, and I don't know if anyone out there just got it, but when I heard this over and over, like, put your oxygen mask first. Make sure your cup is full before you try to help others. To me, that was like very selfish. I was thinking about it. I did not think of it as, well, if I don't have my oxygen, I can help you for a minute, and then we both going to be dizzy, and we both going to die. And then the first thing when you say, even if you have a child, you know, as a mother, I'm going to say, heck to that. I'm going to put it on my child first. But then it, like, honestly, how old were you? I was maybe 47 years old when a lot of things start to make sense to me. Because when you're running on the idea that you have to always put people first, and I'm not saying this to like be like, oh, I'm this amazing person. No, but this is how I was functioning truly. Regardless of helping others is going to subtract from even my own health. And to me, even now, knowing this, I still don't feel good about it. And that's one of the biggest issue that I heard over and over from other people, that feeling guilty. As a mother, I feel guilty when I lay down. I feel guilty also when, and we do a lot of talk about the autism, right? Feel guilty when you feel like, okay, you know, when my child is asleep, oh God, this is good. Now I can take a break. You know, for me, that was good. Like, that's something I understood, and I have no problem saying it and doing it. But many, many parents out there and many people. So this is just one example. You can apply this to everything in life. All right? To think that you are selfish. So.
Well, so again, this is going sort of back to Aya Power work, but compared to what? Right? What metrics are we using? So, yes, you could always do more. Could always do more. True. You have failed in terms of maximizing your day. Do you remember the movie Groundhog Day? I always think of that when I think of this topic, because the writers, for those that don't know the movie, it's Bill Murray comedy, gets stuck on the same day over and over and over. As he starts out, he's kind of a very selfish person. He's totally wrapped in himself. Doesn't care about anybody else, and he learns the hard way that that's not the way.
Yeah.
And in the original script, they don't ever say this in the final movie, but in the original script, he was stuck in that loop for 10,000 years.
Wow.
Which, again, they don't say it in the movie because it didn't matter, it's a comedy, but in the writer's mind, that was a commentary on just how hard it is to hit the mark of being the perfect person on the perfect day. But it is possible to get better.
Yes.
And that's really what it is. So you don't have to get it exactly right. You don't have to hit everything. You got to give yourself a little grace in terms of how you dropped the ball. I didn't say it this way. I should have said that. Darn it, afterwards I thought of this. Yes, you can beat yourself up all day long if you want to play that game. But you're going to be more powerful if you gauge your metrics to what you can actually do and just stretch a little, just one little thing better. And the power of the incremental, right? Just tiny little things over time is where the action is. So if we're going to talk about development, it's a discipline of just trying to do slightly better, whatever it is. And you were talking earlier, Hagir, about you're a giving person, and so when you're giving, you feel right. It feels right. Well, some people aren't built that way. Does that mean they can't be useful to other people?
With that, we are going to, unfortunately, end this episode, and we will be right back. So hold that thought, and you stay right there for a whole week. We will see you back in our second episode with Tom. Remember to always be the change that you want to see in the world.